Okay, well here we are, and as always, when you're doing something, you gotta always go to the hardware store, right? Okay, I'm gonna be installing this. I took this door trim off of here because I'm gonna mount my board for this beast, the 2.5 gallon pressure washer and hose reel, to that wall right there. Okay, now here's the RO system. It's going to be very easy to install, very easy to hook up. The instructions are basic. We're going to be using the 100-foot of blue hose, of course. Now, this bracket right here, see? That's going to go here just like that. I'm going to put a bolt here and a bolt there. And if you can see the space that's left, right? The pressure washer hangs right on this bracket. Okay? Custom made Ameritech. Okay, now we're going to plumb right into this line right here. We're going to get a T, and we're going to hook into there, and we're going to put a ball valve, just like your everyday garden hose type thing, right? Then we're going to have that board that runs from there to that post. We're going to bolt the RO system right up to there. Okay, then we'll run our lines to the tank, where we're going to be filling in this baby with some spot-free water. Then it's going to come down here. This is a ball valve. The handle's off, so we're going to hook our water line from here over to the wall, and we're going to hook it up to here, to the L pressure washer. All right, then we're going to have a return line. See this? That's going to be the bypass. So when you take your finger off the trigger, the water continuously feeds into the tank, just like your buffer tank on your pressure washing rig. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a good little thing, and it's an electric. So my wife can come out, flip it on, watch the level on the water. You're not going to use 50 gallons to wash your car. Get the soap cannon out, spray it on down, rinse it on off. Turn the RO system back on, fill the tank back up for next time. But anyway, we'll be back with a step-by-step installation, okay? And we're going to start by bolting the RO system up there. And we're also going to be bolting this to the wall, so we can get this pressure washer out of the chair and put it right there. And we're going to put this inlet level with this tank, so it's gravity fed, you know, boom. Gonna get the most flow that way. All right, I'm Don from Superblast, and I'm off to the hardware store. Let's get after it. Okay, how you doing? Step one here. My step one, okay? This is bolted to the wall. These are 4-inch carriage bolts that bolt into the studs. There's another one here that bolts into this stud, okay? This is our bracket. See how it's flexing? The pressure washer is going to sit right on there, okay? So let's go ahead and mount that, and we'll be on our way to a better place, right? All right, see how this is going to work. This is pretty heavy. It ain't heavy, he's your brother. That's why you got to be smarter than you look, you know? This over here. Hoo-ha! Watch it. Look at that, eh? And your pressure washer mounts right there to the wall. Looks good. And we can put a couple more smaller carriage bolts down here, okay? All right, now all we gotta do is tighten this one up on the end, and that'll crunch it off. Here's your on and off switch. All right, we're gonna run the power right down to there. Gotta vacuum all that stuff up. Then we're gonna run our water line right to this outlet right here. And that'll hook our pressure washer up. And this is your bypass. Hook up the orange bypass up to the corner of the tank up here. And you can see the fitting is right there. It'll wrap around that post right onto the fitting. All right, we'll be right back. Hey, here we are. A little bit more of what's going on here with the RO system. Check it out. Got the pressure washer mounted to the wall, the hose reel. Got our water supply hooked up to the tank. This is a ball valve, on and off. Okay. This is the bypass. So when you let your finger off the trigger, it keeps running water up to the tank. Okay. It's plumbed into an outlet right here. All right, this is going to be the water source coming out of the 5-stage reverse osmosis unit made by Aquatic Life. Very inexpensive model too. I think it was like 250 bucks total. Anyway, we're going to be mounting it right here. I got my marks. So we're going to mount this puppy right here. Then we'll run our hoses on down to there. And we'll be ready to rock and roll. Then we got to make a flush out. And we're going to cut into this pipe here. I haven't decided where I'm going to do it yet. We're going to have to see. Wherever I can get the most flex. It looks like I can get most of it right there. So we'll go ahead and cut that. But right now we want to mount this right here first. Then we're going to go ahead and hook up all the plumbing and everything. And it seems to be pretty easy. So I got this little gizmo here. And this, of course, is your water line hookup from the faucet to the machine up there. Has an inlet. We'll go over that here in a little bit. Just giving you an update on what's going on here. Very easy to install. All right, let's get after it. Hey, coming along. Got it mounted. Got all the canisters put in. This is the line that's going to come through after it's filtered. And we're going to hook this line here. And there's a float valve down in here, upside down, if you can see that. Ooh, it's getting dizzy in here. Anyway. All right, this is the water supply line here, so that's going to be hooked over to here, I do believe, because I got some flex with this pipe, so I'll be able to move it back and forth in order to get the spacing I need to get that T in here, because it will move from the wall. Anyway, got to run the supply line to here, and then we have a discharge line, which is right here. That's going to run out and go down to a hose that I'm going to install. That's going to run all the way across the floor out to the garage when I'm making RO water. So all the discharge will go out in the driveway. All right, but that's where we're at so far. We'll be back to work on it tomorrow and get it finished up. Then we're going to prime it, get everything working, and we're going to get to working making some water, some spot-free water. Then we can wash the car. Look at my wife's car down there. Is that a beauty or what? I mean, that was a 2012. Looks like it just came off the showroom floor. It's only got like 30,000 miles on it. Takes very good care of it. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow to wrap it up and do a demonstration on how it works. Exactly how it was hooked up from start to finish. As you can see, it's coming along. Everything's hooked up. The water supply, the bypass, the ball valve's hooked up. The canisters are up there. Basically, we just got to hook the water supply up and hook a couple more hoses up and we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right? We'll see you tomorrow. Get after it. Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Hey, we're installing this custom electric 2.5 gallon a minute pressure washer This is custom made by Ameritech. The brackets are made by Ameritech. Everything is custom. Okay? You can get one of these units and put in your home. Yesterday I showed how the beginning of the installation went. I'll include that in the footage today as well. But anyway, we put this nice 2x8 up here, bolted it into the wall right here with 4-inch carriage bolts into the studs on both sides, on this side too. Okay, now this bracket is custom made, so this fits behind there. You tighten this up, it snugs that in there. You can put a couple more bolts there if you desire to do that. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, this morning we tightened everything up. I got hose clamps everywhere so everything stays nice and neat. The installation is clean. This is going to be my debris hose. Okay, got to run it out of the garage. It runs all the way out. So I'll cut that black hose so it just scoots right out the door there. So that'll take care of that. Okay, we're getting ready to hook up the hose. That's the hose that's going to go to the tank. Then we have another one up there that's going to be our water source. Okay, this is the water source that's going to go from here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to plumb this just like this. Okay, and it's going to be a very easy installation because I'll be able to use this pipe right here and this, and I won't be disturbing anything. And then this is going to go on there, and I'll run the white hose from here up to here. Okay, and in here we have our waistline. See that right there? We'll hook some white hose up to that, which is going to come all the way down, and we're going to stick a couple feet of that white hose down in this garden hose, and that's going to be the drain out there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to cut our hoses. Now I got to run the unit for a minute with the valve closed. You always want to run it closed. It's going to run, flush all this out, and I'm going to run this into a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, you don't want any of this water to go into your clean tank, so do this operation like this. And then once we do that and flush it out, then we're going to take these apart and we're going to put the membranes in. Show you what these are. Okay, these are your membranes. Okay, they're going to go in. They're going to go in the unit like this with the black rubber all the way in. It'll seal right here. See that? So it'll stop right there. Then you can put your cap back on and then put it all back together. Then you got to run it for half an hour and let all the debris go in the bucket before you hook this line up to your float valve that's in here. See that? It's a cool system. And this is the bypass. So when you let your hand off the trigger out there on the gun, and it just bypasses right into the tank and keeps the water in the pump cool. So the water is continually going back into the tank, flowing through the pump, which is just like anybody's rig that has a buffer tank. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get started, and we'll be back to show you the complete installation and startup. All right, let's get after it. Okay, now we got all our lines. You have to measure 5/8. Put a mark and you make sure that goes in to your port. This is my waistline, so it's going to hook up to here. This is my water source, which is going to go to here. Everything's pre-marked. Okay, this is pre-marked, and it's the RO water after we get done flushing everything out. All right, this one's not going to get hooked up to there until we're done with all the flushing. All right, so we're going to hook everything up, and then we're going to be back to go ahead and plumb this. It'll be interesting. This is full of water right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in this pipe right here. I'm just going to hold this bucket like that, and we're going to drain it just like that. All right, then we'll replumb it up after it dries up with our plumbing, and then we'll go ahead and let it sit a little bit, and then we'll turn it on. All right, we'll be back.
help.
Now we're talking. That's what we needed to do. Alright, we'll let that drain out a little bit, and then we will be back for the reconnect and the initial startup. It's coming along nice. Alright, now we got our glue here. Our PVC pipes all cleaned up. I got a piece of paper towel down here because I dripped some of this stuff all over the place, which there it goes. It's inevitable. Primer up your pipes. Nice and clean with the old purple magic, huh? That on there. Alright, primer your inside of these. Okay, get all your parts done. Alright. Lid on that. And I got the strong glue. So the first one I want to put on is going to be this one here. Alright. And we're going to use this super blue. Rain or shine. Of course it's not going to be raining in here, but why not put some strong stuff on, right? Nice coat of that in there. Come on out here. Get that, like that. That's good. Get her in there. Nice and easy. There you go. Perfect, right? I'd say so, yeah. Okay, now you got that on there. Go ahead and get a nice coat inside there. There you go. And let's get this blue gooky stuff over here. Some thick stuff right there. Alright, now let's get on with it. Beautiful. Couldn't ask for nothing better than that. That's going to be good. Alright, now I want to put the plug in. Whoop. Try not to get any on your fingers. Get the boogers in the sugar. You don't want that. There you have it. Alright, and you just have to alright, now we're going to put a little Teflon tape on the subject. Don't want to go this way with it. Whoops. Hey, dummy. Anyway. That's how you do it. Wrap it up real good. Just a couple strands you're going to be using. Come on, baby. Get down there. Yeah. Nope, I got it on my hands. Never fails, right? This is going to go on here like this. Just like that. doesn't leak. All right, we're gonna let that dry, then we'll let the water get hooked up, and we'll be right back for the final hookup. Moment of truth, right? Let's turn the water supply on. Okay. Water supply is on. Do we have any leaks? I don't see any leaks. Last thing we want is a leak. Okay, now I got this thing clamped here because we got to run it for 1 minute. Let it drain through there. Then we got to unhook these hoses here, put these membranes in there, then run it for another 30 minutes with the RO wastewater going in here and out to the waste tube, down out the door to the driveway. Okay, all right, well, let's go ahead and turn it on and see what happens here. I'm just going to count the minute in my head. Oh, wow. Oh, looks like it seems to be working. No leaks. No water dripping anywhere. Looks like a successful installation, huh? Yeah, there's kind of dirty water down in there. All right, we're going to do our flush, and we'll be back to put the membranes in. Get after it. 1 minute rinse, right? We have our canister unhooked. The hose unhooked from the membrane connection. Okay, I want to get one of these out of the package. Pretty tough stuff right here. And the thing's talking to me over here. Okay, now, you want this end, put it in here just like this. Make sure it gets all the way in. Okay? Now, put this back on. All right. We'll be right back. I gotta get my ruler. Measured with the 5/8. You gotta put a mark there. It's very important. Okay, now, put this hose back in where it needs to go. There we go. Now these little blue clips, don't drop it. I already dropped one. I think I got one extra left, and then it's going to be game over. So make sure that you don't drop it. Okay, there we go. But I was an idiot and shouldn't have done that, because now I got to take it back out. Hold on just a second. I forgot the most important part, and that's to tighten this up. This pops back up, right? Okay. Now you just want to tweak it so it doesn't leak. Put this back in up to the 5/8 mark. Take your little clip that you really should be very protective of, because, like I said, all right, there's one. Now number two, push this collar in so you can get the hose out. There you go. Now I'll lift this one up. And then what we want to do is unscrew this one. Whoa, 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 whoa. And don't pour it over because it's got water in there. So that cradle allows it, that little bracket there allows you to go ahead and alright, as I said before, make sure this is at this end here. Put that in. Make sure it's all the way in. Alright. This back on here. Give it the old scrunch. There you go. And note I put a little screw here in the wall. So all the tools are right here. You always have access to your tools. Okay? Alright, now I gotta put a, you know, it's about 5/8. I'm just gonna do this here. Beautiful. Alright, now we got the same routine. Don't drop the clip. There you go. Now this RO spot-free water system is ready to rock and roll. We'll be right back. I'm going to empty this dirty water out and see what we got coming out when we flush it. Got to flush it for a half hour. Let's see what happens. Turn it on and do our half-hour flush here. So let's see what happens when we turn it on. No leaks. Got to fill everything back up again before it starts coming out. Now this is why I guess it's going to come out of here very slow because when you're running a system like this, this makes about a quarter of the amount of water that the waste is going to be. So a lot of waste is going to come out. So we got to run for a half hour. We're going to go down and get a time on it. We'll be back for a review of the whole install and how simple it is to install one of these spot-free car washes at your house. On from Super Blast Pressure Washing. Not only do I do pressure washing, but now I'm going to be able to detail my cars at home. We had ceramic coating put on the Tacoma and the Mustang. So we just got this custom, and I see the drains working just fine. We have a spot-free RO system installed in here. Ameritech makes this custom. Custom-made brackets for this wonderful 2.5 gallon a minute machine. Beautiful pump. And you have places for your tips. Your wand hangs right here. And then your gun has a place for itself right there. Okay, this is a clean installation. This is your water line that runs to your tank. Okay, now it's shut off right now. We're gonna be making RO water for hours today. It's a very slow process. But everything is bolted in nice and neat. Okay, this is your bypass line. Let's go ahead and take a walk up here. And I have a hose reel bib here because this drainage line, when you're not using it, we'll just reel it up so it's very neat looking. In the garage, everything tucks away right here. We have a 55 gallon storage tank for our spot-free water. Here's the system. We'll be able to tell how much water this thing makes in a half hour. That's sparkling clear water coming out of there. Right now we're doing a half-hour flush. Here's your filters. Okay, and then you have membranes in here that produce the spot-free. I mean, the water is just sparkling clear and clean when it comes out of here. But this is your water supply hookup. Very simple. Comes in, goes through all the filters, all these filters and membranes, okay? Then it comes out through here. This is your waistline, okay? The waistline goes down to the garden hose, which is strapped to the wall, so it's never going to come off, and it's a neat installation. This is your bypass line, so when you're not pulling the trigger to rinse and you're soaping up by hand, you can let the pressure washer run continuous, and it'll just bypass right into the tank, and it will keep the pump nice and cool. But that's the system in a ball of wax. This is the Aquatic Life system. I paid like $250, I guess, right around that. I can get you an exact figure and put a link. I'll put a link in the description down there today, so if you're interested in getting one of these. It works great for me. In my situation, it was a very, very easy install. It's a clean install, that's what I like. Okay, so once this is cleared up, buckets are cleared up, you won't even know it's there. Then you hang your tools on the wall right there so you always know where they're at. All right? I hope you enjoyed this installation of the RO 5-stage system. Classic hydroponics. Beautiful spot-free water. Makes washing your car a lot easier. You don't have to worry about drying it off. You can just zip around the block or take a yard blower and blow it off, and it looks spiffy clean. So I'm looking forward to using it on these bikes as well. So just spray and go. So these things are going to be heading to the mountain soon. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the presentation. And we're going to be putting a 100 feet of this blue hose right here that you can get at Ameritech. This only weighs, it's pressure flex. The hose is 100 feet long. It only weighs 20 pounds. And it lasts 3 times, 4 times longer than the gray stuff. You should get some of that. All right, there you have it. That's going to end the presentation today. We got spot-free water coming out of here. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. All right? All right, remember, get after it. And don't forget, call Ameritech and get anything you need. Car detailing, pressure washing. The sky's the limit. Get after it. All right, let's take a final look at the project. Here's the drain hose. This is the filtered water that's coming out with all the garbage in it. So it's the dirty stuff that's getting filtered out. Okay, here's the pressure washer. We got 100 foot of the blue hose on this. It's a 2.5 gallon a minute, custom made bracketing, custom made hose reel holder, and it just bolts right on there. This platform slips right into the side there. Really great. And you have a place for your gun, place for your wand, place for all your tips, and it's electric. So my wife can come out, turn the switch on, make sure everything's on, and she'll be able to wash her car very easily. Okay, we got a really good ball valve on here. Let's come on up. We have the Aquatic Life RO 5-stage water system. It's going to create spot-free water for spot-free wash on your car. It's going to be great. We plumbed in to here with a T. It's very easy. Just made 2 cuts, put the T on, and we were bingo in business. This goes up to your water source, which goes into all these canisters and through all these membranes. And once it comes out of here, it filters through all this and through all this. The waste is going to come out of here, and it's going to go down to this garden hose that I have bolted to the wall. And I have that hose reel right there, because when we're not using it, we're not making water, we'll just put the hose right there. That'll always look neat. You don't have to have that hose running around all the time. I put a place for the tools. The big one, of course, is for the big canister, and the little one is for this, when you have to change your membranes out, okay? That's your bypass line for the pressure washer. You see the orange hose down there. When you're not engaging the trigger, it just bypasses right through, keeps the pump running nice and cool. And then we are making nice water right now. split valve in there, so if it gets too full, it shuts it right off, okay? All right, and that's going to conclude our 5-stage RO water system install. All right, y'all have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and by all means, get after it.